War is vengeance, so that here men are punished for before breach of the king's laws, in now the king's quarrel. Where they feared the death, they have borne life away, and where they would be safe, they perish. Then if they die unprovided, no more is the king guilty of their damnation than he was before guilty of those impieties for which they are now visited. Every subject's duty is the king's, but every subject's soul is his own. Welcome one and all, to RvR, Robot Hamlet versus Robot Richard III. And let me turn on the music there, that'll probably help. Hi. I'm Jim Ryan, I use he, him pronouns, and today we are continuing our short campaign of RvR. It is a hack of Lady Blackbird by John Harper. Let us go around and introduce everybody that we have with us at the moment. Unfortunately, Prince Hamlet is going to be a tad late, but that's all right, as he is currently, at the end of last session, he sort of confined himself to his quarters for a while. So we're going to start out, and then he shall hop in soon. But let us begin with Hawkeye. Hello. Muted, sir. Sorry.
All right, let's try that again. Rewind. Hello, everyone. I'm Kentucky Hawkeye, KY Hawkeye. I use he, him, and I will be playing Sir John Falstaff, also he, him.
Excellent, excellent. And let us move on to Anino.
Hey, my name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns. I am going to be playing Mercutio.
Excellent. And let us move on to Kat. Hello.
Need to remember to unmute myself as well. Hi, I'm Kat. I'm a cleric of Cord, she, her. I will be playing plain Kate, Bonnie Kate, Kate the Shrew.
Excellent. And finally, Sam.
Well, hi, I'm Smallish Sam. I'll be playing the great Shakespearean character of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes. Shakespeare, you see, in his time, this takes place in an asteroid field some 300,000 years in the future, where they created Bard World. The human race did, and the human race is gone now. But their creations remain. But they did include quite a few of these robotic archetypes of different Shakespearean characters from many of his plays, such as Hamlet and Richard III, and Revenge of the Sith, and The Cherry Orchard, and Waiting for Godot, and many other things that apparently Shakespeare wrote as far as the people of the future are concerned. And so before we dive into all of that, though, just as I always give this ahead of time, like we do with most games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for you, any of the players can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and we'll do something else. If something happens that you're okay having in the game, but you don't want a graphic description of it, you type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it, or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if you're in the midst of intense role-playing and you think we might be worried you're really upset out of character, you can put an O in the chat to let us know you're okay and that we're good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it to when we say or do something and then think that might have been a little bit too much. And then everyone else can respond to that to let us know if they're still doing okay. And I'm just looking at the chat, and apparently today the labyrinth has nothing but empty hallways in it. Which is kind of disturbing. Okay, no, there are more. Okay, thank goodness. All right, it's there. Oh, that's the new room. Okay, anyway, sorry. Distracted myself. So, let us see where we are here. The crew of the Burbage has found itself. Currently, they are sitting on the far edge of the Branagh cluster. They're kind of actually even further out than that. I think they're kind of like here, roughly. And a few things happened last time. let's just sort of slide into what happened last time. One of the things that happened last time was that there was quite a lot going on Tudor Station. I think you spent most of the session on Tudor Station, where you found Henry VIII, and also Henry VIII, and also Henry VIII, and just keep multiplying that, and that's what you found there. Many different Henry VIIIs, from a range of ages. So it seems that Henry who has woken up, this prototype version of Henry VIII, has the ability to procreate, to create more robots. But thus far, it seems, I mean, you know, he was working with the machinery, trying to get it to do it. So he went in, they were all feasting, went and chatted with him for a while. He went down, they started to make a copy of Obi-Wan, who volunteered. And then the proximity alarms went off as Kate and Hamlet had gone back to the ship to get back in touch with Henry V, to try to sort of get a bit more intelligence about the situation, or find out what he might know. Because Falstaff had seen an earlier version of him, that's right. That was kind of why Hamlet had called Hal in the first place, because it was like, what? And I don't know if they ever actually lighted on that topic, but you know, these things happen. But not specifically anyway. That said, I mean, as you know, they find if he was okay, he was still as he was. Henry V was in the busy in the Olivier Cluster, trying to deal with this war that has just erupted between Claudius and Darth Vader, and that's caused a bit of bother for everyone that's in between. And so Henry V, doing a bit of contract work, bit of just trying to help folks, has come forth and is defending primarily West Side Storyland, because House Shark and House Jet do not have sufficient ships to be able to hold off both forces. The thing is, Jaquie's Bar and Grill also needs help, but they haven't been able to get up there yet. They briefly, in trying to determine what to do about the Henry situation, they contacted Catherine Parr, who is wife number 6, historically, of Henry VIII. There are robots for each of Henry's wives in the park, because apparently one of the developers thought that might be amusing. Despite them not all appearing in the play Henry VIII, I don't think. This was a thing that happened, and she basically just told them a little bit more about what was going on. That there was this. It seems as like that there's people are starting to act weird on the station. Some of them they're starting to get into loops and monologues and such that more than usual, talking to people that aren't there. It's a little weird. Some of the hallucinations that Hamlet and Sir John have had have sort of implied that that's a communication somehow of the Sith ethos, which has been somewhat also dubbed Sithphilus, as apparently it spreads like a virus. Strangely enough, a computer virus, perhaps, or perhaps an STD. We're not sure. It's a bit of a gray area as far as how that particular part, how the dark side works. But in any case, and also they were attacked by Boba Fett as they were there on the at the station, because apparently, not content to simply tip off the Imperial forces where the Burbage was. Petruchio apparently, in his quest to try to, get Kate back, I guess, also is apparently went so far as getting together with Boba Fett, who, they were chums apparently. Sent Boba Fett hired Boba Fett to go after the Burbage, their ship. And that was a very short fight. As Boba Fett, I mean, not an untrying one. Boba Fett is a very skilled pilot, but Hamlet did get the better of him, and they blew Slave One out of the sky. So, at this point now, they sit at the edge of the Branagh cluster, sort of pondering what they're going to do next. Hamlet has retreated to his quarters and is kind of just sort of recovering from having had a version of Yorick in his head that, of course, never existed. As they found that Falstaff was able to kind of do a Norton Utilities on him and basically get that out and put it on its own separate little drive so that you can continue to study it. But now, as we settle into this place, we are aboard the Burbage, and they're sort of contemplating what they're going to do next. They're probably heading in the direction of Jaquie's Bar and Grill, but the precise course is not yet important. We will determine that at the end of these scenes. But yes, now is the time when we can do refresh scenes, and we can kind of let folks get some XP back that they have spent. Not XP. I don't know terms anymore. Pool. Points for their pool. And so refresh scenes are scenes that you do with another character. And let us, as we begin this portion of the saga, let me see if I did this correctly. And I think I did. Yay! Hail, Hamlet, Prince of Denmark!
Hail, noble captain in our wonderful quest.
Yay! We were actually just getting ready to start refreshment scenes. As I did my rambling introduction that fulfilled its purpose, as it always takes forever, of stalling until you got here. Wait, did I admit that while we're live? Oh, crap. Well, that's all right. Anyway.
Everybody monologues, apparently.
Yes, this is true. It's apparently I've caught Sith. So we are at this point now where we can make a determination as to who wants to go. Yeah, it's basically I was explaining what refresh scenes are for those who might not know. Essentially, you can have a scene with another character. It can be one of the other PCs, or if you have another character you want to have it with, or you want to do a flashback and have it with another character, you can do that. So anyone who needs to restock their points can now do so. So this usually just involves the person, if I recall how this works, the person for whom it is the refresh scene, at least has to... well, it's a good time, it says, to ask questions in character so the other player can show off aspects of it. So, yeah, I think it can pretty much just work for you. I think the way that I've seen it worked is that whoever's in the scene, they get refreshed. So, who wants to go first?
It's going to show up at Mercutio's door holding a case of wine.
I can't wait. All right. Mercutio, you're someone's knocking at your door.
All right. So Mercutio swings with the door open. His shirt, I guess they'll call it a shirt, is fully unbuttoned. He's basically just relaxing. See his cell phone with Candy Crush on the screen is, sort of in idle. He's going to glance down at the box of wine and then glance up at Kate and be like, "Wow, this seems odd."
We women have our uses.
That is very much a fair point. He'll push the door wide open and allow her to step in.
She'll slide her way in, set the case down on the nearest available surface, pull out a bottle, uncork it, hand it to him, pull out a bottle, uncork it, and keep it for herself. Because why bother with glasses?
Why bother with glasses, indeed? So that was quite the magnificent party we stumbled into on that station.
Yes.
You'll take a swig.
I don't know that magnificent is quite the word I would use for it.
No, I was thinking more of a sausage fest myself.
Yes. Broiled, boiled, stuffed. Too much sausage for my taste.
Oh, imagine that.
Imagine. I understand that you like the sausages.
I like variety.
Ah. Well, variety is good in all things.
Of course. So, have you finished your secret plans? One that you had arranged with Hamlet that Falstaff and I were not privy to?
Secret plans? I have no secret plans.
He'll just eye roll at that and continue drinking anyways.
I did send Catherine and Jane pictures of Henry's head sitting on a basket. That was well received.
I can't imagine why it wouldn't be.
Yes. I swear that Catherine, why she wants to go back. She could put up with that prime sausage.
Yes, well. I couldn't say. I don't tend to form very long relationships. This may come as a shock to you. But as a professional carouser, I tend to flit about.
Well, I found myself tied down, sometimes almost literally, over and over and over. Now, I'm as free as the wind.
How's that working out for you?
Peaceful. Much more peaceful. I eat when I want. If my meat is rare, I eat it rare. If it's overcooked, I eat it overcooked. I drink when I want. I sleep when I want. I wear what I want. Whether it's a hat or a dress.
Well, I suppose now you know what it's like to live like a man. It's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is.
Cheers to you, then. We'll salute
And
with the
to you.
bottle. Yeah.
So what brought you all aboard?
Well,
Why don't you still be palling around with your cousin?
no, we parted ways a while back. I might have said some words that might have been over dramatic. Something, pox on their houses. Yeah. You could see I was upset at the time because I had been run through with a sword. That was not a very pleasant experience, mind you.
Fair.
So, I suppose falling aboard this ship was the best way to go about things.
And where do you fall in the current battle?
I'm just trying to get by.
You hold no allegiance?
No. I did that once and it didn't really go well for me.
Well, I'm curious, have you ever visited this, was it West Side Story Planet or whatever they're calling it now?
I do happen to be a bit fond of musicals, yes.
Yes, I've never had a chance to go there. I hear that there's a lot of fighting and dancing.
There is. My personal favorite song. I feel pretty. Usually when I feel down. And sorry for myself, I sing that song and feel much better about matters.
You sound like Bianca sometimes.
Do I?
Always flitting around, feeling pretty and flirting. God.
I can't say that's a bad thing. I have had no regrets for my carousing, save for once trying to be a wingman to a very, very desperate young man who couldn't quite control his passion.
Yes. Sometimes all's well that doesn't end well.
It's very poetic.
I need more wine. And she just starts chugging.
So he'll remain quiet, not sulking, but just trying to enjoy the companionable silence as they drink. He'll eventually probably just fall asleep in his chair.
I think Kate will just join him as well in just the companionable silence of getting drunk with somebody who has the same kind of cynical eye towards relationships.
Excellent.
Nice. I was just thinking about that. I have to imagine that for Mercutio, West Side Storyline has got to be kind of weird because there are people that like you kind of know, but they're not the same people. And I'm like, you've probably met you probably also, the weirdest is probably you've met this guy named Riff who is nowhere near as clever as you are, and yet everyone thinks he's as clever as you are.
Yes, we'll have to, maybe we'll run into him.
You never know. He doesn't seem to have the same, quite the same biting wit, the same ability to, or the same ability to curse people when he wishes. But these things happen. Really hates authority, that one. But I digress. Who would like to go next? If you need your pool refreshed.
I can probably go towards I can either go to Obi-Wan or to Hamlet.
And I mean, even if you want to, and also, even if you want to talk to someone who's already been in a refresh scene, you can do that too. I'm sure that it's. I mean, they don't get extra pool from it, but it's still, it's whatever you want to do for your character. It's about character interaction.
Okay, well, I'll wander down towards Obi-Wan's cabin and knock on the door.
Hold on 1 second. Takes a little too much time, as he was probably napping. Yeah, yes. Oh, hello, Falstaff.
How's it going?
Oh, just another day trying to, trying to stop this spread of misinformation about the Force.
Oh, yes, the supposed Sithfulus epidemic that everyone is so worried about.
Yeah, I just, it's not the way it works.
I've kind of gotten that impression. So, how does it work?
There's these midichlorians. I don't know how they get into your system. Nobody knows. Midichlorians.
Midichlorians. Okay.
Yeah. Don't ask me to spell it, please. But those are the Force lives within these. and they live within you. And I think that's how it works. Nobody ever taught me. But it's not an STD.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, I do have a question for you.
Yes.
Just between us. What was it like being in that machine when it was scanning to make another copy of you?
Oh, it was actually a little serene. It felt like nothing, really. And I was just able to meditate and kind of just be one with myself. It was actually very relaxing and peaceful, especially considering all that's gone on recently.
Interesting.
Yeah. Although I am sad that I had to kill myself. That's a sentence I never thought I would say.
Yes, quite an unusual scenario. But when we had to head back to the ship, I was just afraid that perhaps Henry VIII may not keep his end of the bargain.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I figured if we stopped it, it would be incomplete and he wouldn't be able to make a full complete copy. Plus, I deleted everything in the system that it was recording just to play it safe.
Yeah, that might have been a good idea. Looking back, probably wasn't the smartest thing to just jump in. But also, who doesn't want a copy of themselves? I mean, really?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind taking that machine and maybe going to Windsor. I'm sure I could spread some merriment and cheer amongst many of the ladies out there.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it'd be so much more efficient. I wouldn't have to bounce from tavern to tavern and house to house. I could just send one to each one.
Yeah,
and just sit back and relax and watch all the merriment.
Yeah, it must be just so exhausting. Just, pleasing all the ladies.
Hey,
men.
It's straight economics. You've got to supply what the market demands.
I mean, yeah, sure. I wouldn't know what that's like though. But yeah, just.
Oh. There is something we may need to do later on, and I don't know if the captain will give me permission for it or not.
We can do it without the captain's permission. It's not like they're listening.
Well, both the captain and I had some visions of apparitions, for lack of a better way of stating it, and it turned out there was some bad coding in our systems. Kind of like, I want to try to avoid the V word around you for obvious reasons and all that, but something like that for real going on. And I don't know if it's just us, if everyone else has it, but we might need to do some routine. We may need to screen everybody on ship, including you. So I wanted to warn you ahead of time that, and especially with you going through that copier thing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Might be even more important to make sure what's going on, to make sure if maybe that isn't a possible source.
I mean, if you take away any of my superpowers, I'm going to be very mad.
No, I won't. Don't worry. I'm a man of honor. I would not touch any of that. I might try to copy it and add it to myself. But anyway, I would not delete anything like that from you.
Oh, okay. Well, then, I trust you, Falstaff. I think you've had the opportunity to do this before, and you haven't.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you need to perform a routine check on me, I'm all for it.
I'll let you know. I plan on asking the captain later, but I figured while we're in the neighborhood, give you a little forewarning, So you didn't think we were picking on you specifically because of you going through the machine or anything.
Oh, yeah. And because apparently I have an STD according to our captain here.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
All right. Sounds good. You take care.
Yeah, you too. Sleep well. Or maybe you're not going to sleep. Maybe that's just me. I sleep a lot.
We'll see. I have things to do. And sleep happens to be one of them.
Take care, Falstaff.
All right, take care.
I have thoughts, but I shall keep them to myself for the nonce. Does anyone else wish to do a refreshment scene?
Actually, Hamlet is going to first knock on Kate's door and ask for 2 of the bottles. The halfway decent ones, not the great ones.
Gladly given.
And then walk down to Master Kenobi and knock firmly on the door.
Falstaff, I thought you left. I told you I was going to sleep.
Well, I'm not Falstaff, Master Kenobi.
Yes, Captain?
Are you going to open the door, or are we going to have this conversation through it?
Oh, fine. I don't know how doors work. I don't know which type of door it is. Well, I didn't know if it was an open door or if it was like a button.
I feel like there's probably a button.
Yeah, right? I'm gonna push the button. Yes?
I brought one for me and one for you.
I don't drink.
Why not?
Because I'm a Jedi. Jedi don't drink. I don't know.
Since when? I've had plenty of wonderful parties with both Master Jin and Master Windu, and there was lots of alcohol involved.
I'm gonna need to have a word with the Jedi Council.
And I do not recommend ever trying to drink Master Yoda under the table. It doesn't end well.
Where does it all go?
Fine. I reluctantly grab.
Don't worry. So, first of all, cheers.
Cheers.
You survived your first interactions with the crazy. May I come in, by the way?
Oh, yeah, come in. Sit down. There's only a bed, by the way. So you have to sit on the bed with me.
Hamlet, we're fine.
Oh, yeah, and I go and sit crisscross applesauce.
Should I be? Never mind. But first of all, you survived. That's good.
Yes.
We're about to go see your dear friend, Mr. Vader.
Yeah.
Feeling all right about that?
No.
I mean, do you want to deal with Richard and I can deal with Vader?
No. I need to deal with Vader. As much as I don't want to. I have a few words for him. Like 2.
Die asshole?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, as long as we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So, I'm assuming Falstaff informed you about the minor virus that we acquired.
Yeah, he did tell me a thing or two about that.
What I did not inform you of at the time, and I apologize for this, is during the moments of lack of clarity, shall we say, certain voices in my head were telling me that they had given me the ability to use the Force. So explain to me why it's not a virus.
It's not an STD.
Explain to me how it's not a virus.
I said, not all viruses are STDs. Also, it's not a virus. That's no. I don't know. They don't teach me this. It's just not a virus.
So how do you get your Force abilities?
You're born with it.
Oh, well, okay, but we're not born, we're made.
You're made with it.
Sorry, it's been our problem. again, trust but verify, virus that we can prove existed was attempting to get me to use the dark side of the Force and use my emotions to strangle you. So,
You know, the dark side doesn't. There's some iffy things going on the dark side. It's not truly the true essence of the Force.
Having experienced the Force, well, let me rephrase that. I've never actually used the Force itself, but I have been on the receiving end of the Force a couple times from either side, both the dark side and the light side. I can't really tell the difference when you're using it.
Yeah, but the difference doesn't come from the Force It comes from what you use to use the Force. Did any of that make sense?
Kind of, I guess.
Must be all the alcohol. I've never drank before.
I'm glad I only gave you the mid-level stuff then. I wouldn't want to waste Kate's good alcohol on...
I wouldn't either.
I mean, we can work your way up to that. It's just, incremental steps. Also, Kate will probably be there when we do. But, no, Master Kenobi, I'm almost 100% sure that in this case, the negative dark side of the Force was spread through any other way one gains a virus and infection. So, I'd be careful hanging out with Vader.
Yeah, I don't think I need to worry about that.
I'd also be careful with everyone else that Vader's apparently surrounding himself with now. Richard's Richard. He's never been either sane nor in control, but he's a master manipulator to an extreme, and now that he's hanging out with Vader...
I mean, makes sense, right?
Yes, there are so many things involved with that I just don't want to... I have questions. I have so many questions. But I don't want to think about it at the moment. But... considering the fact that it was an attempt at an infection, and there is virus code that we can prove exists, would you possibly consider creating I don't know what... would you constantly consider being a guinea pig to see if we can create an anti-vaccine?
Are you trying to take the Force away from me?
Not from you.
If you're going to create...
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of preventative measures, so we don't get infected.
Oh, okay.
But if you want to try and if you want to go down the route of taking the Force away from,
No.
Okay.
No. But no, that's not okay.
But removing the man's head from his shoulders is.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Your logical syllogies must be mind-boggling.
Yep, they're pretty great. You can have Falstaff take a look at it.
Master Kenobi, you are a wonder.
I know.
A wonder. But, I will let you get your rest. Just be careful. Apparently there's an nanite virus infection going around, and wouldn't want you to catch the dark side.
I don't think you need to worry about that.
You're part of the crew. I'll always worry about you.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Give me 5 minutes. I'm sure I'll find something nicer to say in a moment. Maybe. But have a pleasant evening. I'm going to go see about flying us into across enemy lines into a heated battle. And rescuing Horatio again.
As soon as you get off the bed, I stand up and I say, well, don't you know, Hamlet? I have the high ground.
That's great. And he just reaches out a finger and pushes against you as you tip over onto the bed.
I have some strength, some ability to keep my stability.
With the amount of alcohol you've had, sir.
Not any ability to keep my stability. I just would topple right on over and pass out.
And before he leaves, Hamlet just kind of throws a blanket on top of him, closes the door, hits the comm, says, Kate, we have now officially introduced Master Kenobi to your mid-level. I don't think he's ready for the good stuff yet. Maybe a couple more weeks.
Excellent.
I expected nothing less.
So I'm actually, we're actually going to need to go on break for a little bit, and hopefully just get some stuff to take care over here, and hopefully we'll be back shortly. See you soon. See you soon. Hey, folks. We have returned. And we are, I believe, now... I think you are going to be heading toward Jaques Bar and Grill. Is that correct? Or am I
Nope.
mistaken?
I believe that is where we're headed. Rescue a Horatio from his own mind, pick up a Catherine,
Excellent.
possibly kill a not Cornelius, Claudius.
You never know. You always take another stab at it. Do you, now, what route do you want to take? Do you want to go just straight through the clusters to it, or did you want to go around like Tempest Land, or up around the Death Star?
I think we wish to avoid the Death Star if at all possible. So if we go through the Branagh cluster and skirt the West Side Storyland and through the Olivier cluster, because I believe our cousin Hal had said he was defending the Olivier cluster, or
Yes.
coming from the Olivier cluster.
Yeah, Hal would be roughly like sort of here-ish. He's sticking close to West Side Storyland fairly, but he's a little bit kind of space north of it.
Yeah. So if we proceed through Tempest Land and happen to break through Hal's use Hal as a shield to break through the line, I'm perfectly
We're
okay
good
with that.
We're good with that. Okay.
I mean, I'm quite sure that Hal would be equally happy for me to fly in and draw attention and have him shoot at more people. Hal likes killing people on a battlefield.
He does rather. He's quite good at that. Okay. So we are then, if I'm interpreting this right, we are sort of doing slingshotting past Tempest Land to get it. Well, I mean, it's still going to be a certain ways up, but yeah, you can use that to skirt the worst of the Branagh cluster.
There.
Gotcha.
Kind of thought processes.
Okay. Let me see here. All right. So we're talking about just doing a bit of navigating through here, and let me just check something here. Yeah, it seems to me like you're probably going to be avoiding the denser parts of the asteroid field.
Probably.
So let me also pull up the info on Tempest Land, because I think there was something about how things are, the orbits of things around that are a little tricky. Asteroid ruled by the robot wizard Prospero, whose electronic spells are terrifying to behold. The smaller asteroids in rapid orbit around it make it a very dangerous part of space to visit, although it's one of the few areas one can go to avoid the treacherous Branagh cluster. Okay. So if you're kind of going sort of in between, it's not going to be too rough for you as long as you don't get too close to Tempest Land.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really only going to be a difficulty 2.
Well, your pilot is going to maneuver, or I'm assuming that it would be a complicated maneuver, evading both the Branagh cluster and Tempest Land. Caution to avoid the issues that both of those gravitational pulls would create. Tricks, because it's kind of a tricky situation. The obstacles of both the asteroid cluster itself and Tempest Land. Daredevil, because I'm probably going to be flying a little bit aggressively, trying to, put on speed. I don't think there's any tractor beams. And I don't really think we're concealing ourselves, are we? Are we trying to be subtle about this?
Not that I know of. I don't think that was part of the game plan.
Well, in that case,
Guns are well stocked with ammo.
in that case, I think it's 8.
Okay, very
And
good.
that's-
You're able to make that through. Hang on, I'm actually... Ha-ha! Okay. Yeah. So, as it turns out, I am actually going to need to step away again for a moment. Do you want to vamp for a few minutes, or shall we go back to break, or do you want to...
Oh, we can vamp for you.
Okay, if it goes over long, then we can pull it. I am sorry about this evening. This is getting a little weird, but I'll be back in a few moments, and feel free to vamp for a bit
fine.
if you so desire.
Yes.
Talk about
We
whatever
can
you
vamp.
like.
I don't know. I picture this as like Hamlet's just very calmly being piloting aggressively. It's just like I'm very calm about this, but I'm going to beat Han's time going. It's almost better than the Kessel Run.
I see.
Oh, I like that.
So, enlighten me. What is it about Tempest Land that makes it such a difficult navigation?
Prospero's cranky,
Ah,
and he likes to share his crankiness with the rest of us.
oh, how nice and generous of him.
Among other things. It's definitely not someplace you want to take a involuntary vacation.
No. And I don't know what his problem is. He can go back to Milan if he chooses. Although the whole thing with Ariel is just creepy in my thoughts.
Oh, yes, very much so.
Mercutio, do you have another bottle on you?
Duh. And he'll pluck one from under his chair and toss it over.
Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate this. Oh, by the way, I have begun Master Kenobi's indoctrination in the processes of use of alcohol. He is a severe lightweight.
That's a horrible condition to have with this crew.
Yes.
Sounds like we need to put him through some intensive training.
I mean, it does take quite a bit of skill to be high-functioning alcoholics like ourselves.
Lots of practice, mostly.
I mean, I've heard the term steamer used a couple times. It's one I appreciate. Also, he was saying something about how midichlorians are little things that you are born with, and that's how you use the Force, and they're little whatevers. And I'm like, that's a virus. So I'm going to go with my original theory that the dark side is an STD.
You just hear over the comm in his sleep. Obi-Wan's like, that's not how it works.
Well, I mean, it could be bacterial. Maybe antibiotics?
Well, no. Falstaff found an actual virus. Didn't you, Falstaff?
Yeah, we found something floating around.
I'll break out the alcohol gel.
I'm trying to find the patterns in it right now.
Well, have you had any success with that?
Not as of yet. Still working on it.
Do we have any antivirals on board?
Well, I mean, yes. Yes, there are. I made sure we stocked up when Puck was aboard.
Oh, always wise.
Obvious reasons.
Yes. Speaking of STDs.
I mean, Puck is a very wonderful friend, and I do appreciate everything that he's doing for me and at Jacques Station and in the care he is giving to Horatio. But that whole thing with Oberon and Titania is just...
And when he gets partying in that satyr form, it's... Yeah.
All bets are off.
All bets are off. And apparently Oberon was having a cordial conversation with Bottom and Titania. It got weird. It got very weird. almost as weird as that thing going on between going on between what's Mercutio, what's your cousin's what's your cousin's name again? Blanking.
Romeo?
No, but that Romeo, but that other girl that he was all upset about before he got into the thing with Juliet.
Ethel, the pirate's daughter?
Yes, her. You know, that whole bit about, you know, his one true love being Ethel, and then his other, you know, the whole thing with Juliet just going on and on and on and on. Well, apparently Ethel got upset with him, and the last I heard, there was this thing going on between Ethel and you'll excuse me, Titus. It got very weird.
Ethel.
I'm going to be delighted to watch the VOD and find out what new things have been added to the world.
Ethel, isn't that Jacques Lafitte's girl?
Yes, I think it was, but but remember in that whole thing where it got very, very strange, and then he ended up. Well, apparently Ethel decided to take up residence with Titus, and Coriolanus got upset about this whole thing because Coriolanus got upset because Titus was doing that thing with Astius and Coriolanus. Well, their whole relationship is just the definition of complicated. And then, but apparently Titus was, you know, I don't even understand it.
Falstaff just goes back to analyzing the virus code.
Much
easier to keep straight.
That's fair. Don't die. Are you okay?
Hamlet has shared his knowledge of the midichlorians being a virus. Kate has broken out the antivirals, was concerned that we didn't have enough on the ship, and I explained that I stocked up when Puck was aboard.
Because that makes sense.
And it went from there.
Yeah,
it went from there.
It's a good time to do that. That's usually anytime Puck comes aboard. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you're gonna make it without too much difficulty. Now, as you are doing this, so are you doing anything else with respect to these to the viruses or other analyses or anything like that, or what are we doing?
Just try right now. Mostly, I'm trying to see if I can figure out some sort of pattern to where that would show where they came from, or how they got into us, so I can more effectively, if I have to, analyze the rest of the crew.
Okay, so I think that for this type of in-depth analysis, now that you have more samples, I'm going to call this. I'm going to call this a difficulty 3.
Okay. So I've got myself, robotics, programming, modification to try to figure out how if I need to modify anything within ourselves to repair and prevent, deactivating. We're seeing how the best way to deactivate everything, diagnosis to figure out what's going on, and since I've got it added on, computers, since we're all computer based anyway. So that would give me 7.
I think so.
Okay. All right.
Got it. Okay. So, yes. After looking everything over, you have determined, you know, these 2 virus samples. I'm sort of figuring out their behavior just as data. Yeah, it looks as though they transmit wirelessly. And it seems as though it's like How does one represent this? You know how, say, like, if you've got some program or other, and there's like a certain degree of code that gets that's kind of, I don't know if I'd call it junk. Okay, Jim is not a programmer. Has not seen these terms since the 90s, so just bear that in mind. But you know, sort of a junk code type idea, the idea that there are certain little programming cul-de-sacs that happen, sections of a program that never get used because they develop in a different direction, and it doesn't happen, I think, as often necessarily with AIs. You're all AIs. But something where, say, someone introduces a particular kind of command that's like a buried thing that is supposedly leads to nowhere, right? So that interacting with... So like, it seems as though if someone knows the codes and someone has and can actually utilize them, then they can use that to interact with the improvisational protocol that you all had, which is what led to you being able to be self-aware, to essentially sort of backdoor the force programming.
It reverse engineers itself in.
Kind of, yeah. It's very weird and very dangerous to do it that way. If you were not a robot intended to wield the force, then it's not something, you know. So the nanites weren't supposed to respond to you that way. Then it's something where it's going to possibly drive you insane. But the disturbing thing about this, the truly disturbing thing about this, is that this had to be started by someone with admin privileges. Now...
Interesting.
Yeah. Humanity's been gone for a very long time. So, it is possible that there is a robot running around there with admin privileges.
And that is not good.
No.
Not good at all. Okay, I relay this information to Captain Hamlet.
Well, did you tell us about the code for Elizabeth yet?
I told you.
Oh, you told me. Okay, good. At which point I would say, Falstaff.
Yes, my captain.
Would these admin privileges also correlate with that other piece of coding you found?
I have not looked at that yet. That is the next thing on the list to do.
Because I would hate to have her with admin privileges. I think I would... nope, yep. I would hate having her with admin privileges even more than I would hate having Eleanor with admin privileges. Hey, Kate.
Yes?
Which tutor do you hate the most?
Oh. Really, it has to be Henry VIII. Just every single time. Kiss me, Kate. Ugh.
I understand that. So Henry VIII with admin privileges would be upsetting.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
What about what about the fear and danger? And I would like to run and find another universe, please, of his daughter with admin privileges. His younger daughter.
The one that tried to make everybody think she was a virgin.
Yep. After a number of people.
Yep.
Yep.
Run.
That was my thought. So, Mercutio, how do you feel about seducing a Queen of England?
It's the role I was born to play.
We'll put a pin in that and hold that over here as Plan C.
More like
First-
Plan D, if I'm all right.
Well, each their own.
I'll make sure to leave a couple of bottles of the good stuff set aside for that one.
Yes.
If you need, I've got some extra fine stuff hidden away in a place that only I know about. In case of emergency, and I think this might qualify.
Well, she's not corporeal yet. Let's deal with the war going on between Denmark and the Sith first.
That might actually be enough to bring out the one that likes to talk to witches.
Oh, him. Do we have to?
The Scottish AI?
Well, I mean, just tell him he's avenging Mary.
We could we talk to his wife? She's at least mostly...
Is she, though? Well,
Trust me, I think you're better off talking to him.
Well, you catch her at the right time of the day and everything's fine. And you don't have to worry about, the thing, but... We could always just ask Macduff to deal with it. And then we don't have a problem.
yes. But I think the Scots would be more than happy to get in on any plan too.
Okay, so plan B is the Scots. Plan C is... Well, we don't have plan C yet. We have plan D for Mercutio seducing a Queen of England. All right.
I'll go find some whiskey.
Plan C is get everybody shit-faced.
Well, I mean, we'll bribe the Scots with their scotch, because...
That makes sense. I approve of this. And this is the conversation we're having as Hamlet's flying through asteroids and just getting...
And Kate's doing target practice on him in case we need to blast Teddy to get him out of the way.
Exactly.
And Falstaff is analyzing the QE1 code.
Okay. Let's see. So. No, I mean this is the don't read chat right now, Jim. So you're going to so Falstaff is working on that. I'm going to ask you to do another roll in a little bit, but first let us get closer. Are you going to try to meet up with Hal anywhere first, or are you just going to go straight to the station?
Hamlet would probably message Hal and say something along the lines of, "We're coming through. Do you wish us to make you a hole, or do you want to actually talk?"
So, you'll get Hal much faster this time since you're closer. He is right now. They're in sort of he's got a sort of a defensive thing set up. He's Hale. How close do you need to get?
Well, I do want to kind of pick up Horatio, and apparently we're going to send Catherine Parr over to Tudor Station.
Right. There is the issue of a blockade that has arisen since we last spoke. Claudius has placed one round Jaques Station, and is insisting that it is under quarantine. Now, I can of course make a hole for you if you wish.
Oh, I mean, I could make that hole for you, and I'm sure you can come along and follow behind, and fill up the hole in their wall with your English dead.
Ah, yes, 'twas a good battle, but good in some ways.
I don't think we kill any women or children this time, though.
No. Does Obi-Wan happen to know where Han and Leia are? Han was really good at running blockades. I mean, he's an ass, don't get me wrong, but
he's a fun ass.
Okay, yeah, I went there. Yes.
and let's all be honest.
Everybody went there.
Everybody went there.
But he is rather good with blockades.
I'm sure if we send him a message, we could let him know. What do you think, Hal? Do you want me to bring Han into this and the two of us can... No! I think I still have the number for Londo around here somewhere, too.
So last you saw the other folks from the various Star Wars plays. They were actually not. They were not in this part of the belt. They kind of Vader had kind of controlled things over in that area so absolutely that they have they had actually gone, had to move the rebellion kind of way away to try to deal with that. So you might be able to reach them and have them show up. It may take a little while for them.
I mean, I think what we might actually want to do is well, because we're going to be going a different direction, we should ask Han if he wishes to transport our dear friend Catherine. Because I think that Catherine and Leia might actually be able to control Henry. And if what we fear is true about the Henry's daughter appearing, I definitely want Leia on hand. She'll definitely be able to handle that. Mercutio, do you have a thought on this?
Not a single one.
Well, Master Kenobi, do you have an opinion?
I'm asleep. I have no opinions.
Well, that makes it easier. Kate, we'll send a message to Han, have him meet us there. He can run the blockade. We can break the blockade. It gives you something to shoot at. and we can let Han and Leia take Catherine off to Tudor Station. We can pick up Horatio and deal with Sith.
Put Lando on standby then.
Of course.
Just in case. Okay.
It's often does. Lando might actually be on, might actually be on Jacques Station, possibly. But it will...
But Lando doesn't have the Falcon.
This is true. Not currently. Well, it depends on which version of him you get. The one that's on Jacques Station probably does not.
And let's be honest, as much as we love Lando, the better flyer of the Falcon will always be Han and Chewie.
This is fair.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mostly Chewie.
Chewie does do a lot of the heavy lifting there, both literally and figuratively. You still have your comm open with Hal?
Oh yes,
Okay.
this whole conversation.
Yeah, Hal actually is not actively in a fight right now, so he can talk to you. So he will say that I am going to have to remain myself here, so that we might, as these forces are coming in fairly regularly. I can spare a few ships.
I mean, if you wish to have a few of your ships follow us through as we make a very big hole. I haven't let Kate actually shoot at something other than rocks for about 12 hours.
Ah, well then, it's about time. Very good. Did you have this conversation in front of where he could hear you, like in front of the comms, like on the bridge, or did you turn off the comms before you talked about who else you're pulling in?
I'm assuming that Hamlet's in the pilot seat and just having this conversation in the pilot seat. Okay. If he muted, did you want him to mute us? I think he wouldn't have, though.
No, I didn't think so. I just wanted to check on.
No.
I just wanted to know how much Hal knows at this point.
Oh no, I think he would have had this conversation in public with Hal. I mean, he doesn't. Hamlet doesn't have a problem with Hal, and wouldn't have a problem,
Okay. I figured. I just wanted to make sure. So
there are kings of England that Hamlet has definite problems with. Henry V is not one of them.
This is fair. So he says, all right, very good. Well then, we can make this work. We can make this work easily. Then, should you manage to get hold of Captain Solo and General Leia? Actually, General what versions of them are you getting? This is important, so I know how to refer to them. Which of Shakespeare's plays are you drawing them from?
General? Yeah. 6.
6?
Definitely.
Okay.
6. Prime General Solo, Prime Princess General.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
Organa. There we go. I was like, wait.
So you have them both at their most sarcastic. This is good. So.
Wait. Okay, you can't see it, but I'm actually wearing my National Sarcasm Society shirt. Like, we need your support.
Excellent. Okay. So then, to my mind, the question is, are they going to be available? Can they get there fairly quickly? So I feel like this is going to be... I feel like there's a roll that needs to be happening here to determine that. So this would be... I don't know who needs to make it, but this is a reaching out, contacting, trying to get them to show up type roll. And so it depends on how we want to tackle that.
I mean, it could be Hamlet, or it might... No. You know who it... Here's what it is. Mercutio, would you be a dear? Could you wake up Master Kenobi?
Oh dear.
Sure thing.
we need his assistance in contacting Han and Leia.
Okay. So Mercutio's going to make his way over to Obi-Wan's room, but he'll stop on the way and make a Bloody Mary.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's important to have those when you're doing things like this.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll just barge into Obi-Wan's room without so much as knocking. Just sit down on the desk, sit down on the bed, and hand over the drink. Just be like, "Hey, boss needs you up on the comms."
Why does my head hurt?
Here, drink this.
What is... Oh, this is awful. I hate tomatoes.
Yes, well, soldier up. Or something.
Just like drinks. Just chugs it, really.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Okay, who needs me for what?
Captain Hamlet needs you up on comms. Something about contacting General Solo.
Oh no. Okay. He's the worst. Okay. Well, at least let me get dressed in peace.
Well, I mean, I guess if that's what you really need. And
Yes.
he'll tousle his hair a little bit and then just head on back out. Maybe stopping at the galley again to refresh his own drink.
Nice. What I think one of the neat things is that even if there are robots with different versions of them about, all of the versions have probably met each other by now, or the various characters they're not supposed to know. So it's interesting to sort of see how this dynamic will work. So I presume Obi-Wan is getting dressed and heading up.
Yeah, and then heads up to the oh my gosh, why can't I think of the word? What's the word I'm looking for? To where everybody is. Thank you, to the bridge. Yep. I can words. Yeah, so I head over there and
All right.
yes, Captain, you wanted me?
Yes, we need you to get in contact with General Solo and General Organa. You know, the young and loved ones when they were being the most annoying and sarcastic. They are the most fun.
Oh, yeah. Why do I have a headache?
Because you drank alcohol. Without water.
Why did you give me alcohol without water?
Because you needed to learn this. Everyone learns this at some point.
Okay. Okay, what am I supposed to do again?
Well, you're going to need to call Han and let him know that we need him to cross the blockade and get to Jacques Station. He's going to pick up Catherine Parr and drag her over we're going to send Catherine Parr and Leia over to Tudor Station to try and control the Henrys.
I totally got all of that. How do I call Siri, call Solo?
Oh my god. All right. So first question. Just to be clear, Obi-Wan is going to be the one making this roll.
Oh no.
Well, it looks like that's what's happening. That's what's happening in the picture, so I assume that's what's happening.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming
All right,
so.
so yes, you're trying to reach Captain Solo.
I mean, I will help you do this.
I will need the help.
This will be a difficulty because, like I said, they're kind of far away.
Unless Mercutio wants to take over.
Difficulty 4.
Oh shoot, difficulty 4. Okay.
They're far away.
Mercutio helped with the Bloody Mary, so consider that my contribution in terms
There
of
you
the
go.
dice roll.
Yeah. Gave Obi a bit of the force that bit him.
I don't have anything. Shoot. Okay.
Unless you want me to make this roll and you be the help, because I could try. I have an idea.
Okay. Yeah, you do this. I'll be the help. Because
Okay.
I have like nothing for this really. I mean, I'm
Okay.
educated.
Yeah. You
So
could
what-
finagle wisdom into it, but that'd be the way that I'd go. But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I don't.
See, because my thought is, I could use noble, etiquette, negotiations, because I'm negotiating with this. Wealth, because I'm probably going to have to pay Han something to get him to do this. A prince to be able to have this conversation with a lovely Princess Organa. Connections, because I'm using my connection of Master Kenobi to get him on the phone, who's also a member of my crew, and therefore is a connection there. So that's 7. Oh, that's 8.
And then I'll help. Yeah.
One for Kenobi. And are we counting the Bloody Mary as help?
only if he's if that is being in the mechanics being translated as giving you a pool die.
Yes.
All right, that
Okay.
yes.
Just trying to, this is hilarious.
You got 10 dice.
It's best, and I have 7 successes.
Okay.
on that.
With that kind of roll, he's probably bringing Chewie, C-3PO, and R2-D2 along.
It's entirely possible.
And probably Luke as well. 0
Luke's
help.
Well, this is a quick transport job, right? So
Theoretically, but he might need an extra hands on the guns.
okay. Well.
He can always bring Ray.
So you're calling primarily. Who are you? Of those names you mentioned, which is the one with whom you were having the conversation?
He would call the Falcon, assuming that both Han and Leia are on it,
Okay.
and one of the two would pick up.
All right.
Because this is prime Han and Leia time.
This is fair. Yes. So this you have to actually bounce it through a few different relays, but you actually manage to pick it because there's rebel bases in secret, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And so eventually you will there'll be the sort of a I'm just trying to decide kind of which is going to be better in this instance. So you pick up so the other side eventually picks up, and you see and you see Leia staying there. She says, Prince Hamlet.
Princess Organa, it's been too long.
Oh, it's
And you see, I picked up a new guest. Do you not recall?
It's me.
hello. Oh, hello. Hi, Ben. Are you all right?
I have a really bad headache. Apparently, you're supposed to drink water with alcohol.
What
I
have you
never
been
had
giving him?
alcohol.
You really didn't want me to, Leia.
We were testing a theory about midichlorians.
Extremely so.
Why is it always about those these days? Okay.
Because I'm quite sure that Richard III got syphilis.
That's not how it works. Leia, you tell them.
This is. I feel like this is not really a conversation I want to have right now.
Well, he got
Well,
it from your father.
What's he been doing?
Richard III.
No, that's not how it works.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Not what?
Sorry, it was right there.
She's just sort of.
You're welcome. I'll just set that right up for you.
I'm fine. Mercutio's just looking at us like we're the craziest people on the planet. I'm okay. All right.
Okay. Note to self. Hang on. I just have to make a clip real quick. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Sorry. Moving on. No, your father has apparently allied himself with Richard III against Claudius in their attempt to, breed. Specifically. Biologically.
What the blazes has been going on in that end of the belt?
Henry VIII.
He doesn't seem to. Last I heard, he was just staying in his castle.
Yes, but this isn't that Henry VIII. This particular Henry VIII was a experimental prototype, you might say, that was escaped confinement.
There's another Henry VIII running around out there?
There are about 10 score Henry VIIIs running around out there now.
And this is not the immediate problem.
No, see, here's the thing. We need you and Han and Chewie. I'm assuming Chewie is always going to go with you and Han. To take the Falcon and skirt the blockade that your father has put around Jacques Station and the various areas over there. Pick up Catherine Parr. Go over to Tudor Station and mitigate the Henry, as it were.
Yes, that's a big problem.
Yes, see, he's copying himself.
He's obsessed with procreation, as always.
But apparently there's a various levels and amounts of Henry involved, and there's younger Henry and older Henry, and there's jousting going on and lots of feasting, and he wishes to copy more people, which is mildly concerning, you would agree.
Here's a Henry, there's a Henry, everywhere a Henry.
He
Wouldn't have a Willie or a Sam.
I see.
And
this is going to be a problem. Yes, that's going to be a problem.
so we thought if we would send Catherine over there, she might be able to,
Keep him occupied.
there's that. And if you went, you could control, I mean, let's be honest, you control most of a rebellion and you keep Han in check every day. I'm sure Henry VIII shouldn't be a problem for you.
Yeah. We're going to have to see what's going on with that, because that's something that can't spread. You know that.
Well, we have a minor other problem with, how I mentioned that your, Richard III has, force abilities. Yeah, when I said he was doing your father, I wasn't being sarcastic.
Is that even...
Yes, unfortunately.
Is that possible? Ben, is that possible?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can, Force staff, is there a way you can put together like a small packet of information we can send?
Also in there, just clarify, it's not an STD.
It's a
Ben, get
virus
some
that
rest,
spreads.
please. Don't drink anything else Hamlet gives you.
Okay.
This was so much easier when he was an old man. Okay.
But so much less fun.
I suppose.
I mean, he was pulling that whole "I'm an old man, I know everything" bullshit, and now he's just one of the guys.
All right, well, look.
And
I'm going to
realistically,
need to
don't.
I am going to need something from you. Not immediately.
Right. What do you need?
When we're done with all of this, and we've put whatever, this back in the bottle if we can, I would like to borrow Ben there. For a little while.
For what? Just out of curiosity, for what?
We've been having some
Variety?
trouble. Well, no, we've been having some trouble with one of his acquaintances. Maul has showed up.
Again?
Didn't he get cut in half?
Yeah.
Yes, at least about 20 times, I think. And, no, he just keeps coming back. That's what he does.
It's.
Is he like a snake? If you put that parts back together before the end of the day, he stays alive or
I
something?
think that's how they designed him.
It's very odd.
Can't Kijon keep him occupied?
It's
Just lock
funny.
him
It's
together in
almost
that
like,
little forest room?
I'm sorry.
I
what
mean,
who did you ask keeping him occupied? I didn't
Qui-Gon.
hear the name.
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon, yeah.
Kijon, whatever.
Qui-Gon Jinn, yeah.
Yeah.
Master Jinn.
He's had to go off on some kind of vision quest, if nothing else, for lack of a better term.
It's Qui-Gon. What do you expect?
Well, he
Yeah,
does.
of course he has.
He keeps having to do that to kind of recharge himself, and I kind of wish we had more than one of him. But yeah, it's very tricky.
We should put him in that copier that Henry yeah. Let's do that.
Then we
You
have
guys
more.
should
Tell you, we'll
Yeah.
figure that out once we've gotten a handle on the Henry situation.
Yes. So here's our thought.
Okay.
You and Han take the Falcon. Don't try and worry about breaking the blockade. I'm going to be coming through on the other side, and my dear cousin Hal will be following behind, and we'll make a giant hole in their wall and draw attention to us. You can just kind of float in and pick up Catherine and
All right.
make off to the station. I'll let Kate here shoot as many people as possible.
Well,
but only the bad guys.
just let me
I'll
know.
let Kate here shoot as many people as possible.
Okay. Well, just let me know when you have, and you've got everything ready over there.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you need to coordinate on that, and I'll help with that. And then once you're set, we'll be nearby. Just send us a signal. We'll head over.
Oh, and tell Han that we took care of the whole Boba Fett thing. That's
Oh, yes.
not an issue anymore.
Oh, thank goodness.
I let Kate.
You'll be very pleased to hear that. I am very pleased to hear that.
Kate decided it was beautiful. It was beautiful, right in half. It was beautiful.
And you sure you got him? You didn't just blow up the ship?
Oh,
We've
well,
done that once or twice.
well, I didn't blow up a ship. I let Kate physically cut the ship in half.
Oh, that's good.
And considering the way, it was one of these, and I came underneath. It was a beautiful flight, and just let Kate shoot it all the way across. And there were no pods released. And if there were, Kate proceeded to shoot anything that was left. It was
fun.
That is good.
I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun. But Falstaff, if you could act as communications relay with the Falcon and inform them exactly when we are in position, and with that, Mercutio, I'm going to need you to act as well. I want you to get everyone on that blockade's attention. And I really don't think, I think you'll be the best one to do it.
He's just going to blink and down whatever it is that he was drinking. And, yeah, all right. I'll think of something.
Mercutio, just picture that you're standing between Tybalt and Romeo and you want to annoy the both of them. Because I can't annoy people and fly as efficiently.
Of course.
And whatever you do, don't Don't lift your arm up.
I shall keep that in mind.
Well, it's not really going to be a problem. He's not leaving the ship. And he can drink as much as he wants while he does it.
I mean, I do that anyway, so...
Also true. So we'll let Falstaff be in communication, and then we'll make sure we put Ben on a ship for you when we're done.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. Once we've got this sorted out, we'll need to figure this out. Figure out what they're doing. All right. Okay. We'll be there probably in a few hours.
Oh, whatever you do, keep Jar Jar away.
We do not speak of him.
Oh, if
Shit.
If Henry gets a hold of him over there.
That's a good point. We'd better check to make sure that he's still where we put him.
I thought, well, not to put an indelicate point on it, I thought Master Yoda put the lock on and then forgot where the key was.
That was what I heard.
I mean, I might have been at the party where we ensured that Master Yoda forgot where he put the key.
Oh, good.
All I know is last I saw, that one was in carbonite.
Even better.
And we didn't even give him to Jabba, I believe. I have very vague recollections of that party.
No, I think Zero... No? Did Zero win that in the poker game?
No. Zero won the carbonite of that Boba Fett's father, the one who cloned himself all those years ago.
Django?
Django, yes, him.
Yeah.
Apparently there was I'm sorry to put an indelicate point on it, Kate. Apparently there were stripper poles involved.
Go on.
I feel like I don't need to be here for this part of the conversation, so I'll get in touch with you later.
By the way,
Yeah.
I never did thank you. That blaster has come in so handy.
Oh, yes, isn't it good?
I love it. Oh, I love it. Love it.
I've had to.
Eleanor never saw it coming.
I asked for the modifications on that, and I think I think that really helped with the recoil.
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent. Good. I'm glad you like it.
Yes.
We'll catch up soon.
Yes.
All right. Hope you folks will be ready when we get there. And she turns it off.
Then we're going to proceed, and we'll let Falstaff provide communications back and forth between us and the Falcon. And I'm going to fly and let Mercutio draw all of the attention to us as we fly through, and let Hal come in right behind us with a whole bunch of guns and shooting people.
So I have a question for you. Before you do this, do you attempt to get back in touch with Catherine Parr to let her know where to be?
We probably should do that.
Yes.
But I'm going to let Kate do that, because the Kates will be much better at that.
Yeah. I'll let her know.
So when you attempt to do that, you see that the signal is not getting through.
Huh. Captain, what's the radio situation at the moment?
Probably complicated. Falstaff would know better. I'm in communication. I can still communicate with Hal, right?
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything from Jacques Station.
Would not surprise me if the blockade has some sort of radio interference going on.
Can you find out?
I can certainly try.
I'm going to try reaching out to who else do I know that would be there?
Horatio was there. Puck ran off to Midsummer Night's Land.
Let me see if I can reach Horatio Orlando.
Okay.
Not Orlando, but I don't want to reach. I don't want to reach
Lando.
Orlando. I want to reach Lando.
It's important in this setting to
Maybe
specify
Horatio's
that.
in Orlando.
Oh, don't tell Hamlet.
I've forgotten which one Orlando's in. Oh well. Anyway.
Well, Orlando is not Horatio.
Yeah. So.
All right, so
You're trying to break through. Yeah, break through. Figure this out with the communications. This will also be difficulty 3.
okay, robotics, computers, computers programming, diagnosis, modifications that I might need to do to the signal to get it to break through, deactivating any kind of block they got on there. And if I have to, maybe programming something to get around whatever the firewall they've got up. So that would be 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Kate would definitely help if she could, since she's the one that's.
Okay.
All right.
So it'll be 8.
So we'll make that an 8. And here we go. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's good. Let me make sure that that's getting reflected. I see that the thing is frozen. Let me make sure that everyone can see it. Okay. You got 5 successes?
Yep.
Okay. Good. All right. So. Yeah, you managed to. Yeah, you do detect there is a scrambling signal going on, and you manage to make an end run around it. And when you do this, there is a takes a moment. You try to reach Horatio. You get nothing. There is no response. You try to ping Lando. And it takes a moment. And it's very much. You see, for a second, there's like it's very distorted. The signal. And you only get a vague sort of bit of visual where you see him sort of in there, and so you've got more audio. And he says, "Who is this? Can't see."
It's Kate, Lando. How are you, darling?
We're in trouble.
Talk to me. What's going on?
Looks
We've
like
got Han and Leia coming in.
you do okay. Good. That's gonna help, hopefully. If they, he just sort of looks off, talks to him. And, I'm sure they've forgotten about that by now. No, there's everyone's gone crazy.
Everyone.
Jaques has locked the whole place down.
Right.
And they're I don't know exactly. I don't know how this happened, but it's like everyone on the station is somehow turning into Sith.
What about Catherine Parr?
I lost sight of her about an hour ago.
We'll find her. That's who Han and Leia are coming to pick up. Of course, if you want to go with, I'm sure they would mind the help.
I would very much appreciate that.
Well, Horatio, have you seen Horatio?
Yeah, Horatio's just over on the other side. He's not been doing great. He's kind of still trying to sleep it off right now. We're holed up in the chapel.
How many of there are you? And I've opened up the comm, by the way, so everybody's hearing this, especially Hamlet.
We've got there's maybe half a dozen of us left right now. in this group anyway. I think Catherine was with the other one. They'd, I think they were off in, no, they were off in Arden in the middle.
Well, I need you to find her. Tell her where to expect Han and Leia.
Do you have any idea how dangerous it is in there right now? No, you don't. You haven't been
Henry's
here.
multiplying.
I mean, no,
Henry.
all the woodland
procreating.
creatures in there, they've gone feral.
Henry's procreating.
Which
Be
one?
more specific. The 8th.
Oh, okay. Henry VIII is procreating.
He finally figured it out. That clever
Yep.
bastard.
Yeah.
That is not the most ideal candidate of someone to, most stable candidate of someone to have a child of any kind.
Hello.
And that's me saying that. Okay. All right.
That's why Han and Leia are coming in to pick up Catherine, and I need you to get her.
All right.
Here's the thing, Londo. You get Catherine to Han and Leia. We are bringing in Falstaff, and he's figured out a way to deal with this little Sithfulness problem that you're having.
We'd very much appreciate that.
And I'm going to be flying in a little hot, so you might want to duck. We're letting Mercutio draw attention to us.
And I'm on the guns.
And Hamlet, that's not the way it works.
Apparently it is! Because...
Have you
No.
been on Jacques Station?
No. But it's not the way it works. Just storm off.
All right. I'm going to see if I can get Horatio up on his feet, and we'll try to take the team out. See if we can track down Catherine in there.
Thank you.
Let us know when you're there, because we're going to bolt for the exit as soon as you show up, if we can.
It'll be kind of hard to miss us.
Yeah.
I'm giving Mercutio open comms and Kate open guns.
All right. Well, here's hoping.
And Hal will be coming in behind us.
All right. Well, I think we better... Oh, crap. He sees something, and then the signal dies.
What do we see?
He was looking off camera.
So he sees something we don't.
Yes.
Okay. Well then, I think we should go for best possible speed. Kate, get the guns ready. Mercutio, the comms are yours.
So Mercutio begins gargling water and preparing.
Is he gargling Gershwin?
No,
No,
he's going to go one step better.
It's Porter.
It's on time?
So you'll spit out the water, clear his throat a little bit, throw the comms on. Says, "Greetings, blockaders. My name is Mercutio, and I bring you warm regards from Westside Storyland. Tony and Maria believe that you have no soul. I don't think that's true, so I would hope that you would all join me in this rousing song. 525,600 minutes." And he just launches into the worst musical known to mankind, or robot kind.
So because Jim unfortunately doesn't understand modern culture, which one is that? Just so
That horrible
That'd be
ripoff of a much better opera.
Yep.
Yes.
that does not narrow it down for me, unfortunately.
It's Rent. It's Rent.
Oh God!
Ripping off-
Oh God! Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. No, I've heard horror stories. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is your objective here?
My objective is to stir a lot of resentment and attention to the ship, so that others may fly in undetected.
Okay, excellent. So you're trying to distract them so that they can then... Okay. Before we proceed, I just want to make sure I want to make sure I understand the plan, because that'll be helpful. So what is going to happen? You're distracting them, and then what will happen? What are you trying to get to happen as a result?
I think they're probably going to shoot at the ship.
Right. And so you're going to be their target, and then you're bleeding off so that what ships are going in?
So the Hamlet's plan is we're coming up from one side and the Falcon's probably approaching from a very different location, right?
Yes.
And so we want to draw the attention of the blockade and have the blockade turn towards us, letting the Falcon sweep in on the unguarded flank, pick up what they need and get out, while we draw the bulk of the attention. I'm a better, smaller ship, better flyer to weave our way in, let Kate shoot a whole bunch of people, and at the same time have the giant mass of Hal's Navy kind of come up behind.
Gotcha. Okay.
So pulling most of the blockade into a trap.
All right. Second question. Which part of the station are you telling them to dock at? Okay, refresh my memory if you could. Where is the Falcon coming from? Actually, I'm going to have some questions I need to ask in a moment in order to flesh this out a little bit more. Falcon is going to be coming, we're going to say they're coming from sort of a southwesterly direction.
Okay, so in that case, if we're coming from here, and they're coming from here, then we want to fly up here and have them come around just, here.
Okay.
So send Catherine and Londo to the west side of the station. So for West Side Storyland. Have us come up from the southeast. So it's kind of like this.
So
right.
My question is also, once again, and not to be I should point out something. And that is that you need to okay, we can take it as read that they'll know that's the point that Lando should have an idea that that's the point of entry.
Yeah. We probably would have said something about that, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's fine. That's the most probable thing. We can say you worked that out. Okay, the question is okay. Well, let's proceed. Let's continue, and then we'll see. Let me ask. I need to ask each of you to tell me one thing that you know about Jaquie's station, Jaquie's Bar and Grill, so that I might flesh some bits out. We already know that there's. Let me actually read the description real quick, first off, and then we'll do that, so that we can get details in here. A small space station held as a commonwealth by characters from some of Shakespeare's lesser-known plays, such as Two Gentlemen of Verona, Twelfth Night, The Cherry Orchard, Waiting for Godot, and As You Like It. Also known as a wretched hive of scum and villainy. So those are the established details. Also, that apparently there's a chapel, apparently there's a St. Batman's Hospital, and there is an area in the center where apparently Jaques keeps the Forest of Arden. And so now I'm going to go around and ask if there are other details that you have heard about Jaques Station. And we can go in any order you like.
I'll go first. I once heard this rumor that you definitely don't want to get any of the meat, especially the chicken and the seafood from Jaques Bar and Grill.
Gotcha. All right. Don't eat the meat. All right. And let's see, who else has an idea?
Well,
Wait a
Paul,
second. Sorry,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, sorry to suddenly spring this on you. I was going to try to thread it in, but things have been crazy.
Apparently, you can get 2 drinks, 2 apps, 2 entrees, and 2 desserts for 20 credits at Jacques Station.
So cheap food.
It's not dinner; it's a yard sale.
Yeah, basically. All right. I'm seeing that there is a wide cafeteria area here, probably, or some area.
You can get anything you want except Alice at Alice's restaurant,
There's an Alice's restaurant there.
and a group W bench.
I'm going to have to now pull up Guthrie lyrics as a result of this. I'm very sad. Anyway.
Well, and the key is you have to walk in and say, "I want to kill."
Right. And if you eat the meat, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. I realize I'm crossing the streams on that, but
Perfect.
I have a feeling that they would in the future as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't eat your meat, you can't get any pudding.
Yeah, that too. I've heard that as well. It's a vicious cycle. The deal sounds great until you get there.
Yeah. However, there is a brew pub there that makes its own fine ale, which is one of the finest in Bard's World, and they make the world's darn greatest grilled cheese sandwich you could ever have.
Excellent.
Alice,
Your loyalty to the station is measured in flair.
And the other bard, the secondary bard, performs once an hour in a white spandex and sequined jumpsuit with a very interesting black hairstyle, and apparently has been known to cause palpitations in 90% of the female population and 25% of the male population.
Yes.
Now, is he an elf? I'm trying to remember. Is he an elf?
Rumored.
Or is he just an elfish impersonator?
I think it might be both.
It's difficult to say because, I mean, it's.
nobody's seen his ears under that.
They say that he was in A Midsummer Night's Dream, but it's hard to find him in there.
Also, apparently, he and Puck are never in the same space at the same time.
Well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Also, there is that. I mean, one of Shakespeare's greatest plays, admittedly, was Blue Hawaii. So, I mean, there's that version of him that shows up.
And there's that one from Beach Blanket Bingo.
Yes, that one as well. There are a few different versions of that one running around. You can usually find him on the asteroid of Las Vegas, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
But he keeps getting snubbed by those other, Frank and Dino and Sam.
Yes, that one's tricky. A lot of them have been hanging around the Corleone asteroid for a while, and
doesn't he own shares in that? What is that place? That hotel? The Heartless Hotel.
Heartbreak. Yes.
The Heartbreak Hotel. That's the one. Yeah.
That's the other hotel that's there.
But Alice's restaurant is the heart of the movement. And so if you need anything, information, that's where you go.
Okay. Well, this is good to know. So, let me find it. There we go. I used to go to a story time. I used to go to a coffee house long ago, and they used to play that, and anytime it came on, they played it way louder than any human being could possibly stand. And I had to go outside whenever they played it because it was hurting my ears. Anyway,
Would that be a coffee house by the name of Java Monkey?
No. This was yeah.
No, Jabba Monkey, the one that the huts put together.
They do that there as well.
I thought it was Java's Hut.
They really loved that.
That might have been it.
No, the Java's Hut is the franchise place, and they've got that hot light on that goes for each of
Right, yes, yeah.
There is way too much of this for me to read in a few seconds. So, we're gonna see what happens. Okay, thank you for these details. These are things that you have heard about the station. We'll see what the actuality is shortly. No, this is good. No, this is fine. This is good. So yes. Now we let us cycle back here to the fact that Mercutio has just made this announcement to get everyone distracted. So that's the first part of this plan, this brilliant plan. So as I see it, we have two parts to this plan. We have the distraction and we have the tactical maneuvering. So Mercutio will roll for the first. And then we will need to determine who rolls for the second. So the first, getting these folks distracted in this blockade. So you're able to determine fairly quickly that it appears that Claudius has hired out, in addition to his standard sort of guard captains, whatever, he has also hired some mercenaries also from Corleone. And right now the blockade is being led by Luca Brazzi. So that is going to possibly complicate things. But he's not too bright, so that helps. But to get them out of place and truly where you want them, you're going to. I think this is going to be a difficulty of 4.
Okay. So we are going to use good times. So we get 1 for Mercutio. I'm going to say 1 for presence. 1 for drinking. 1 for charisma. And then I am going to throw in... I'm going to throw in 3 extra dice.
Okay. So that, I believe, brings it up to 8.
Whoops. Did not do that right, did I? Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So, when you do this, they do definitely start shooting at you. Unfortunately, it seems as though they are considerably better shots than you had expected. So the ship is actually going to take a few hits. You're going to have... You're going to get your hull damage box is going to be checked for the Burbage. So as you're diving in for this, and they're firing at you, they're firing, and they're hitting you, because apparently this version of Brazzi is a crack shot.
Can I use my sharpness to return fire?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, do you want to do that as part of the general tactical effort that's going on, or do you want to do something separate that is?
It's in response to Mercutio's failure and the response that we got.
Ah, excellent. Yes. So, yeah, the thing to keep from being annihilated is always helpful.
Right.
So let's see. They are currently hammering at you. I think for this one, this will be a difficulty of 3.
Okay. Well, I'm using sharpness.
Okay.
I've got the 1 just because. Reaction, speed, awareness of the situation, Mercutio's flaws. I know his flaws. Paying attention to detail and anticipating that the situation might go south on us.
Excellent. Yes.
Okay, so that's 8.
I feel this is like one of those scenes where it's like you start singing and they're like,
Yep.
Mercutio, apparently the Corleones don't like your voice. I don't know what the problem is.
So that's 4 successes.
excellent. So,
Honestly,
yes,
I think it's fitting that we are saved by Kate
I think so too.
after my mumbling.
So yes, that works, and you are able to get them off you, so they're not going to do further damage to you. But yeah, you're not, it's not looking great. But you've gotten them off you to a certain extent, at least return fire, so that they don't, so they're not doing that constantly. And now for the tactical bit, where you're flying in, getting the other folks to fly in and get to where they need to be. Yes. So this will be, as this is going on, so you managed to draw folks away. It was okay. So this is going to be difficulty of 3 to get folks into position, in the positions that you want them.
Well, I think we're going to use pilot. Maneuvering, because I have to maneuver both around the enemy fighters and make sure I fly enough so that the howl coming in behind me is hidden, sort of.
Yeah.
Evasion of the enemy fighters. Caution, and I don't want to actually get hit any more than we already are because we're currently damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Tricks, because I am actually tricking them. They are the obstacle. This is I'm playing chicken with an army. I'm avoiding their tractor beams. I wouldn't say it's concealment because I'm definitely not trying to hide.
Okay.
I'm going to take 1 from my pool and roll 10 because I like round numbers.
Hey, that's never bad. All right.
And as we come up, I'm going to just say, Kate, shoot as many of them as you can. Have fun. With 4 successes.
And as you're coming up, you keep hearing the beacon that's going out. This station is under quarantine. Please stay away from the station. And that keeps repeating over and over again.
Hey, Luca, I have someone who wants to inform you. Mercutio, I think there's that other song that might work for you as well. Would you like to share with your vocal talents with him?
I guess. I suppose I have it within me to sing another song. And he'll sorry, I don't know why I do this. Because this is 2 mini campaigns now. That,
I know.
I've done this.
It's like you have a brand or something.
So he's going to launch into a very stirring rendition of Defying Gravity.
Oh my god. That's wonderful. Okay.
Which works as a great counterpoint to the full flip that Horatio does as he buzzes by.
Yeah.
So you are able to open. So you're able to open this. You create a nice big opening, and Falcon comes in, docks like immediately. Hal's ships come in behind you, and are you also going to dock with the station?
Yes. Or I think Hamlet would act as a tactical, wait until the Falcon gets out before docking.
So Falcon docks, and then it begins hailing you.
A little busy at the moment. Oh, I don't speak Wookiee. Kenobi!
Yes?
I don't speak Wookiee.
I don't know if I speak Wookiee. I doubt it. Let me use the Force.
There is a version of you that does, but
this one.
yeah, this one perhaps does not. So from what you understand,
Do I need to turn on the Wookiee to human, the Wookiee to robot translator protocol?
Oh, no, it's okay. He just said everything's going well.
Yes, you do. I'm sorry. I
I think he said he had a bad feeling about this.
So I flipped the switch on for the universal AI translator.
Okay. After a moment, it's like they're not here. Is the message that you see displayed?
well,
They're
Men
They're
can't
not-
trust them.
they're not at the. I don't know. Is it a docking ring? I think we established these stations have docking rings. They're not at the docking ring.
Falstaff, are we in communication with the station?
Trying to connect now, Captain.
And after a moment, so you go and you ping the station. You're not getting anything. And after a moment, you sort of hear, and you hear, hang on, get out of the way. Hey, Hamlet, is that you?
Yes, I'm here, Han. What's going on? I'm a little at the moment.
Well, they ain't here to get picked up. That's the problem.
Hold on a sec. Everybody hold on. Get your asses out of there, and we're about to blow something up.
Are they in? Well, no. I mean, that's the we got life signs, so I know they're on. It's like they're on the station somewhere, maybe, but I can't get in touch with them.
Well, do you want to break into the station while we provide distraction, or do you want to do the distraction and we break into the station? Your choice. I'm a little.
You see him just sort of look over at Chewie, and Chewie's like, he's like, yeah, we'll blow some stuff up. We'll let you get in and get them out.
All right. I think we're going to have to pull a. I think we're going to have to pull a Tatooine to get in and out.
Which one?
7.
Oh crap!
I mean,
Don't I bite it in
hold
that
on.
one? I forget.
No, you don't bite it in that one. That's the one where you get to pretend that you that the Kessel Run is that a parsec is a measure of time and not a measure of distance.
Oh hell! Funny that I haven't said that line in a long time. Okay, all right, fine. All right, okay, fine. Yeah, well, gotcha.
Yeah, they're
hold
coming
up
in
our-
behind me and they're a little hot. Would you like to do them now, or?
Right. So, yeah, the ones that are actually, as soon as these ships come in, that Luca's ships come in, Hal's forces immediately flip around and start shooting, because they anticipated that something like this might happen, and they are actually, so you get a communication from them. And unfortunately, Jim doesn't have time to look up minor Shakespearean characters, so it's well met, Lord Hamlet. These are we shall hold them off for you until you're able to perform your extraction.
Exeter. Yeah, you're Exeter, right? Not Cambridge. I get the two of you confused.
Yes, it is Exeter, my lord.
Okay, fine. Sorry. Han will be coming to join you momentarily. Just shoot as many of them as possible, and don't get in Kate's way.
Very good. I dare not.
So Hamlet's going to do one of these where it's just full flyby and just pull them into the scene in Serenity where Serenity has the Reavers and uses that to attack the Imperial ships.
Yes, they're pulling it in behind them in their wake.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I can't remember.
Yeah. So picture that as all of Hal's army behind the Burbage, and he's just gonna dive underneath long enough for the Luca Brazzi's and the rest of the blockade to meet with a bunch of English pilots on one end, and the Millennium Falcon coming up behind them.
Excellent. So yes, you're able to flip the wedge maneuver around so that they're now doing it. So yes, perfect.
And I will not say that line because it's always too soon, and I don't feel like getting impaled.
Understood. So you do this, and they're now fighting. So it looks like they're going to be able to hold them off for a while, actually. So you should have time to go in and look around, do whatever you need to do.
All right. Pulling in and landing at the nearest docking station.
Okay. You pull in, you dock.
Grab more ammo while you're on there. Kate's just blasting.
Kate, we're about to go into close quarters. You might want to bring all the grenades.
Right. Let me just lock this down. Let me just lock the turret down. And she sets it to automatic, full auto, and has it pointed in one direction. So that it just keeps going while she gets up and then goes and grabs everything.
Excellent. All right.
Falstaff, we're probably going to need your abilities. Anything you've got about that antivirus. Kenobi?
Yes.
You're the only one of us who has any abilities with this force, so you might want to stand in front. And Mercutio, you might want to get more guns. And more alcohol.
I suppose
Not necessarily in that order.
Also true.
Excellent. So, the ramp lowers. You get you've got your stuff together, and you're hearing just sort of like this sort of. It's like there is this kind of sound as though there's. You hear sort of things. You see those it looks like little. It's not. How do I describe this? A lot of stuff has been damaged in there. From you can immediately tell because you hear static on screens, and you can see sort of little bits of smoke wafting in from bits of sparking machinery, and you're kind of.
Hamlet has the rapier in one hand and the blaster in the other.
You also get sort of a communication as you're descending, and it's like, yes, we shall be able to hold them off for a little while. It looks as though they're retreating.
Don't follow. It's probably a trap.
Very good. What's that? We'll have to see what that is. Apparently they saw something else. There's something going on out there.
Did any of them do we know if any of them were docked, or if any of them got in real close to the planet or to the station to possibly have picked someone up, or
any of the Hal's ships?
No, the Lucas
ships? Some of them might have been.
I'm not wondering if they haven't rigged it to blow.
Oh, probably.
I will say you did still pick up, and it's hard to localize, but you did pick up. There are quite a few. There's like the station has a huge population, and there are a lot of robots on this station still. You still get the life signs.
Well, onward and upward.
So from this point on the docking ring, the nearest building is the brew pub, and if you go in one direction, that will take you toward the hospital. And so that's if you go, we'll say, clockwise. And if you go counterclockwise, let's see, that will take you to one of the, that'll take you to the restaurant. To Alice's restaurant.
Well, they were supposed to be going to the southwest portion, the lower southwest portion of the docking station, so let's try to the west first and see if we can intercept them on the way.
Okay.
Kenobi, you might want to light that sparkler that you've got.
The glowy stick.
I'm delighted. You are, so you're heading west, which...
Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise, okay, so you're heading towards the restaurant. And, let's see here. He says pulling something random out of here. Alright. So... Yeah, as you're sort of heading in, there's like, you see a few folks, in the distance sort of, like, wearing hoods, and just sort of walking back and forth along the corridors.
Do they look like anything any of us have ever seen before?
Well, they look like people. They look like people in hoods. The weird thing is that they are all wearing hoods.
I told you,
Kate's already pulled a pin and rolled a grenade.
Okay. You're attempting to blow up a group of baby Sith. And so this will be, I'm going to call this, because they're Sith, it's going to be difficulty 3.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with sharpness again with reaction, speed, aware, paying attention to detail, anticipate. One just because. And I'm going to throw in a pool dice. So that gives me how many? 7?
I lost count, I'm sorry.
All right, so I've got one just because, reaction, speed, aware.
You could probably also fork in anticipate, so you'd probably have 7 base.
Anticipate. Okay.
I got the right one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can work in flaws too, because I know that they don't expect that kind of a response. They tend to expect their little...
Well, yeah, you know that they're relatively new Sith, probably, because it's not like, these are not official Sith hoods. They don't have the embroidered stamp of the Empire upon them, as it were. This is
Right.
This is all just...
So they're all about using their new magic.
Just passed together, yeah. They think they're cool.
Yep.
They're cosplaying the Sith.
So we're doing 8.
All right. That's the number of successes you needed. So, you roll this grenade out, or throw this grenade. Well, tell me, what do you do, and what does this look like?
So Kate has the pouches hanging off her belt that look like they're filled with apples when they're actually filled with grenades. And she sees the baby Sith, and she's like, she just reaches in, pulls one, pulls the pin. The count shall be 3. 1, 2, and then rolls on 3, just like she's rolling a strike.
Excellent. It rolls down, and they're like, and one of them sort of turns, holds out his hand, and you see the grenade float up into the air in front of them, and they just sort of look at it, and it explodes in their faces. This gives you an opportunity if you wish to duck, like either into the restaurant or into the alley behind the restaurant, or whichever way you want to go.
Brand new game show, Bowling for Sith.
Master Kenobi,
Yes.
can you sense any other of these?
Can you sense any Sithiness?
Yeah, can I attempt to sense some Sithiness?
So, I'm actually going to give you this at this point, as you're kind of there you sort of have ducked into a side corridor, and you start stretching out with your feelings, and then you feel it immediately. It's a feeling you've not felt for quite some time. And it's one of those feelings that this is very familiar. This is a very familiar person to you. And that's when everyone hears it. They hear the sort of the lights are flickering on and off, and they hear this. And then they hear the snap hiss of a lightsaber come on.
That one's yours.
And then you see toward the end of the corridor a dark figure appear, and you hear him say, "I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan." And that's where we're going to cut for this week. That's where we're going to break. Right there.
Well, look at it this way. At least it's the younger you. Your reflexes are faster.
Yeah. I stand a chance now.
Mayhap. What will happen? What will happen?
And you've already been copied, so hey.
I killed my copy.
That may present a problem. They don't have a print. They shall have to see what we shall do as this conflict unfolds. But there we are. We have only one left. Only one left after this, and we shall see what happens as this all comes to a head at Jacques Station, Jacques Bar and Grill, serving $2 everything. Well then, let us go around as we have come to the end and ask folks. So, what did you think of this session? And where can folks find you online? And we will start with Sam.
Oh, okay. I don't know. There was so much about this I actually really enjoyed. I do think that I love the description of like the whole I'm carrying a thing of grenades, but it looks like a thing of apples. Like, just take one out. Just so nonchalant. Like, just take it out and kind of bowl it across. I don't think Obi-Wan cared for that very much, but Sam does. You can find me on pretty much everywhere. Smallish Sam. I also, what do? I DM on Scraticus Academy on Mondays, 2 p.m. Eastern. I DM a Pulp Cthulhu campaign that I definitely did not just forget about. Yes.
Yay! Coolness. And let us move on to Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm Mad Cleric of Cord. What did I enjoy about this? I enjoyed the fact that for a moment Kate thought about tossing the grenade up in the air and yelling "batter up" for Obi-Wan to use the lightsaber. But we then I thought, no, we've done that once. We tried that once before and it didn't work well. So let's do it this way.
Yay. Nice.
But yeah, Kate is. I love playing Kate. I love bouncing all of these pop cultural references off of everybody, and we've been pulling in so much stuff and having so much fun with that, and it's a blast. Anytime you are with a group of people that speak your language, and you people speak my language, and it's great. I love it.
I know, it's like it's been like a trickle, and then the last session I think was a bit of a stream, and this was like a floodgate opening up this week. I think it felt like there's so much pop culture that we are now awash in, because it's really just easy to say that Shakespeare wrote it, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can bring up the Group W bench and have people get it is just a moment. It's a moment. It brings tears to this old woman's eyes. I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord. I play D&D and TTRPGs on the internet at various Twitch streams. Tomorrow you can find me with the season finale of Once Upon a Time as Due Diligence, the Warforged War Wizard on Encounter Roleplay at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to miss Due a lot. He only knows one somatic component, and it's this. And yes, there is a theme to my characters. Otherwise, check my pinned tweet on my page on the Twitters at Cleric of Cord. Find out where I'm at throughout the week. I'm taking next week off, though, for some of my games, so it'll be kind of hit or miss. But thank you, Jim, so much for letting me play Kate, who has always been near and dear to my heart. And I look forward to Leia and Catherine Parr taking care of the Henrys.
Yes, that shall be quite interesting.
Yes.
Excellent. And now let us move on to Anino.
Hey, I'm Anino. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at Anino Gaming. I will be at Anime Boston this weekend, chilling out at the Extra Life table. So if you're in town, feel free to stop by and say hello. I like how when we got to Jacques Station, and Jim just decided, like, hey, we needed to tell one detail about the station, and then it was like dead silent for about 30 seconds, and then it sort of just all came out. We were like, well, we might as well just throw everything but the kitchen sink. So this ended up like Ready Player One, except with cooler characters. Yeah, very much so.
Boulder down a hill.
But yeah, so there we go.
Awesome. And you gave your contact stuff, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, cool. My short-term memory is the first thing to go for me. And now let us move on to Sir John Hawkeye.
All right, I'm Kentucky Hawkeye, KY Hawkeye on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Cancer Cleric by day, gamer and RPG fanboy by night. Tuesday nights I have my Lego gaming stream. Currently we're doing the DC Supervillains game. We just raffled off another character slot, so we'll be playing with one that the person who won the raffle designed off of an anime character. So we'll be playing it with that character next week. Wednesday nights before this show, I'm doing my weekly Skyrim serial where we're almost at the end of the Civil War. We've got 2 more holds left to capture with Eric Rosine, the character that's more Nord than the Nords. And when that is finished, we'll be starting with a new character where we'll be doing Scandalon's Tale, story about a Khajiit that finds himself isolated and lost in the middle of Skyrim and trying to figure out how to survive. Then otherwise, I'm hoping sometime soon to be able to get my Critical Holds game stream back going. If you haven't got enough of Critical Role, I've created character NPCs and player characters from Campaign 1, Campaign 2 into a WWE 2K19 format. And in the future, there's a new project that I'm working on, which will be quite fun and quite interesting as well. And that we'll see how well that takes off. That's going to be a new creative endeavor I'm going to be working on. So, as they say in the business, more to come. And if you want to see what the wrestlers look like, you can look on my Instagram account. Illustrations of all the current wrestlers for Critical Holds are there.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That was very cool. And let us move on to D.
Hey y'all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter or Prexagorthesmiaphoria, as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat. I love this. I love just the hilarity of this. I love the image of Mercutio on open comms torturing people with rent. I love the well, I need to get Obi-Wan drunk. He's got to survive with the rest of us functioning alcoholics at some point. I love everything about this. I love the fact that Sith is an STD that you can catch. But you can find me over on Wandering DM Friday for some more adventures in Castle Falkenstein as the Contessa Lucrezia Sofia Fioravanti. There's just going to be so much drama and fun in that, and I recommend you come watch that. The first episode is up on YouTube. I go watch it and laugh and have fun and just, yes. Saturdays, I'm over on Wandering's DMs for some, also Pope Cthulhu, as I run some folk through the Four Corners, New Mexico, and drive some fine folk mad. Lots of things are going on this week, apparently. Sundays, I'm over on Soulbear RPG for some Shattered Eye, as the Shattered fam just come for the death and dismemberment and stay for the Shattered family drama, as we say. And Mondays over on Role Players for some more D&D fun. And then Tuesdays is Dark Matter, D&D in space, over on Wandering DM. Yeah, I'm doing a lot. I do a lot. But I'll be back here on Wednesday, and if you ever want to know where I actually am, check my Twitter, because that's where I always post where I'm going to be.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, this has been great. I'm actually half delirious now from lack of sleep, so I need to get going. If anyone was wondering what the problem was, that was part of it. But you can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch and Twitter. My website is JimYesThatJim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I've got links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and the most recent short story I've released. Let's see, what happens on this channel? On Friday afternoons, Saturday and Sunday mornings, I play video games. On every other Saturday, we do Cold Ruins of Last Life-ish. Not this weekend, but probably next weekend, maybe. This Sunday, on Sundays we do one-shots. This Sunday, we have the third one-shot of Deadlands Noir, Tales of the Dust Bowl. This last scenario will be Chains of the Dust Bowl, and all the characters are on a chain gang and doing work for the state. And so perhaps they will escape. Who knows? We'll see what happens. And then, of course, after that, back here Wednesday for more RvR. Sign-ups are still technically open for Codex Fantasia. That's the thing I'm doing at the end of the month. It's a Cypher System game, sort of Da Vinci Punk type thing. If anyone wants to dive in at the last minute. And so I think I still have a slot open. I still got to check, but I should still have a slot open if anyone wants to dive in there. As always, beginners are welcome. Well, folks, thank you so much for watching. When we go to the end card, I'm going to send a raid over to Off the Table. Hopefully we'll be able to be in time to catch the tail end of their finale of their Fate Core Supers campaign that they've been playing. It's what they're doing right now, run by Chelsea, Little Red Dot. And let us go forth and show support if you so desire. Thank you all for watching. Take care, and I shall see you all of a sudden. Farewell!